Hello, you guys. I'm back with some bad news. And you know what I look like when I'm a mess. I came to warn everyone that watches this video. It's for anybody. And you might just say, "Oh, well, we're going to have it anyway." If you can prevent it, this message is for anybody and everybody. I know I look a mess, but I just can't stop crying. And you never thought that it would happen to you or your friends. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. He was all that I had. He's the only one that cared for me. I had a 70-year-old man, Richard, that was living in my life. He lived in Chestertown. I lived in Virginia. And he would see me for lunch. And he would come into my house and fix things. He got me the job where I'm working. The last time I saw him he offered me $600 a month to help me out if I need it. Richard fell into a stroke. It's very, very bad. Yesterday morning, remember he lives all in Chesterfield. Yesterday morning, I had to throw my earphones away because there were bugs in it. I could hear some things. God, works in mysterious ways. And he just didn't want the bugs to get in. You know how the enemy works. And I took the earphones in a bag and I put them away. I threw it away. I went to work. Me and Richard, we were talking on the phone, like those messages where you press the button and talk. He was saying to me, he wanted to meet me up on Monday to go and eat and finish whatever he wanted to finish around the house. Just hang out with me. What did I do? I put his ass to work like I always do. I couldn't do it. It needed to be done. And he left because they were going to tow his car. But he still wanted to come and see me. I look old. I look a mess. I'm not going to work today. So yesterday we were on the phone and he was already talking about, he's already finished the work here, like fixing small things, not big things. He's like, "Oh, well, I looked at Monday. It's going to be a nice day. Let's hang out." I'm like, "Well, okay." So stupid of me, instead of going back and saying, "Okay, Richard, I'll meet you up," I text him and I'm like, it was around 7 in the evening. I'm like, Hi, Richard, this is what I would like. Can you please buy it for me? Can you please buy this earphone for me? He didn't reply. And normally I would wait till the next day for him to reply or something. So I started getting paranoid and I called him and he didn't answer. I already had his home phone saved in my contact, and I called him. But you know how you have this feeling that God puts in your heart that you couldn't explain. But if it wasn't for me, he would have died and rotted in that house for nobody would have known. Because Richard, nobody comes to his house. He's a loner. He doesn't have friends. And, well, Elizabeth, his cousin, wouldn't have known. She doesn't live around there. And something told me a year ago, save his cousin's number. His mother died already, and I started noticing Richard walking a little bit slow. He was smoking, and he thought it was okay if he took pills like berberine and all that nonsense, Saint Seclair medications to keep you young, to lose weight. He lost so much weight and he wouldn't stop. Richard was the type that was always wanting to be right. And he would argue his way out of it. And he wouldn't talk to you again if he was wrong. So nobody could tell Richard what to do because Richard was the one that knew best. Well, Richard didn't answer the phone, and I called Elizabeth. I said, Elizabeth, can you call Richard? Maybe he's not talking to me, but something's wrong. Elizabeth said, Nadine, he did not respond. Something is wrong because it's not like Richard. And me, I thought, well, maybe he wasn't around his phone, but this feeling that God put. She called the police. They found him flat on his face. We don't know for how many hours. They took him to the hospital. She's on her way there. They're like, oh, he's brain dead, but we don't know much of the damage. So I lost a friend, but his spirit, when I was sleeping, of course it was this year, maybe 4 months ago, he gave me the reasons why we should split. And his spirit in the room did not tell me how we was going to split. And I can't go into details why. He needs to split with me. Because he didn't want me to be the one to split for stupid reasons that I hurt him. The last thing I want to do is hurt Richard or cheat on him. He's not my boyfriend, but he thinks of me as a girlfriend, and he doesn't want me to be with anyone. He's not looking at me like that, but he's a loner, and he's alone, and he looks forward to coming and seeing me from Chestertown. I can't tell you why his spirit told me he had to leave, but he gave me reasons. And one of them was because of me. So if I put 2 and 2 together, I don't know if it's the coronavirus shot or is it the smoking, but this is a message for everyone. Go to your doctor. Get 2 months checkup every 2 months. Make sure your blood pressure is well. He died from high blood pressure. Make sure you don't smoke or drink. Do not smoke, do not drink, because it can happen to you. I don't do any of those. Make sure that everything is running every 2 months. Get a checkup, or 1 month. Don't be like Richard, who didn't do any of this. And let your loved ones know. And I will give you an update, I promise, about Richard.